all the books that I want to read for July, and most of these are just books that I'm gonna finish. And this video is very late, so I have read at least 2 books and started more in the span of like 12 days, 13 days because it's July 13 and I just decided to film this, which is very late. So let us start my TBR. So this book actually contains a novella. So the Dividing Eden contains the Into the Garden novella. So this was a top on my TBR list because it's just 78 pages novella. So I finished Into the Garden novella. If you decide to read Dividing Eden, the novella just consists of the history of the main character's mother and why and how she became queen and the mystery about her premonition. So finish that. So the second book that I want to read or finish, I think I started this but just end up reading 9 pages. So If I Stay by Gail Forman. I really love her writing because it's simple but with very deep words, so your vocabulary will widen. And I didn't end up actually researching about what the words mean, but it's just very understandable, just very complex words but simple writing. And this book is a quick read for quick readers, but I'm a slow reader, so I ended up reading this for I think a week. And it has big text, so it's gonna be a quick read for those quick readers. And If I Stay is actually about Mia, who goes into a car accident with her parents and her little brother Teddy. Then she woke up seeing her body like unconscious. She could see herself. She's not dead, she's also not alive, but she could just see her physical body and she could walk around anywhere. Mia is caught between life and death, and she has to decide whether to stay or go beyond. During the first half is actually she is reminiscing about old memories of the reasons why she should stay. She's going back and forth of whether she should stay or is it worth to stay, that when she wakes up her parents and brother are already gone. She's an orphan. Then the other half is her reminiscing about her relationship with her boyfriend. So it's whether she should stay for her or she should stay for the boyfriend. The second book is actually about their relationship a few years after. I never read the second book, but I just know it's 3 years after this book. This is a special edition. It has never before published chapters of Mia's story, which I didn't read because I was reading other books by that time. So the next book that I want to read is The Altogether Dead by Charlene Harris in the Suki Stackhouse series novels. This is actually the 7th book in the series of 15 books. I didn't read it in order because I don't have all the physical books in hand. I just read all the books that I acquired and I read it immediately because I was so hooked with this series. It's about a southern vampires. The setting is in the southern yeah. Imagine southern accent vampires, which is fun if you want to know a bit more about the story. But the live action version, it's on HBO True Blood. So Saki, let's just generalize. Saki is this bar waitress who has telepathic abilities to read other people's minds. Then she loves being around with vampires because it's such a breath of fresh air for her, because she can't read their thoughts because they're basically lifeless. But I guess in this book she's in a relationship with a shapeshifter named Quinn. I don't know the premise or the of this. I just want to be surprised, but that is the general concept of the Saki Stackhouse novels. It's just her trying to survive a supernatural world. Supernatural means shapeshifters were people like werewolves, were panthers, and vampires. Even Fae. She's actually part Fae, which you're gonna see further half of the novels. Next books are books that I want to finish. These next books are just books that I need to finish before we go to the bar months. So we have Girl in Pieces. I explained this in my last TBR video, which I still haven't finished because this is my therapy book. This is my therapeutic read, even though it's very depressing. But for me, it's like therapy because I get to rant my feelings on this book. This is the first book that I highlighted and wrote, annotated, like very full on annotated, like you can see. I've written, highlighted, and tabbed this book. The next book that I really need to finish. I know this is such a quick read for other people because they're quick readers, or just they prefer to just read it in one sitting. But this is pretty much heartbreaking to read, and I don't want to cry like around people, because usually I read this at my mom's beauty shop, and I don't want people to see me full on crying while I tend to them while they buy something. So I'm 75 pages in. This is just less than 300 pages, but I still can't make myself finish this because I don't want their story to end. And I'm not ready to cry and be heartbroken by Sam and Julie's story. So You've Reached Sam is about 17-year-old Julie, who is grieving of the loss of Sam, her late boyfriend, who died in a car accident. Then she was grieving. She was in the middle of the graveyard when she decided to just call a random number that she remembered, which is Sam's number. So she was shocked. She was rethinking about, is she going crazy? Then Sam picked up. She even asked Sam, is this real? How is this happening? Sam said, I also don't know, but it's just like they were given a second chance to say goodbye. Then Julie said, no, I don't want to say goodbye. So that's just the summary, the premise of this book, which is so heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. Let's just go to the next book. I said that this is on my priority read on June, but I was busy in June with volleyball. Yeah. So Dawnbreaker by Victoria Aveyard. I still don't know what this book is about. I just read 10 pages of this. So I'm on a journey to read this high fantasy. Pray for me, because my brain cannot comprehend the complex world building. I'm still at Andre's the prologue. The prologue is 26 pages. And she's thick though. I don't know. I think this will consume my whole month of July. This next book, because I just added this like today or yesterday because it caught my attention, or I was in the mood to read depressing mystery thrillers, and I think I just realized when I read the synopsis that this is actually like a mystery, because yeah, I Was Here by Gail Forman. So it's just about Cody trying to retrace the steps of her best friend Meg, who took her own life, and the discoveries she had turns out to be very dark because she discovered some mysteries about her best friend that she never knew. So it's very intriguing and interesting. So I think this is gonna be a quick read because it's only 217 pages. The next book, I thought Pretty Little Liars was just Gossip Girl but in different plot. But it's actually A who committed suicide and I think haunted these main characters' mothers before, but now it's like repeating history repeating itself. And they were the like second generation, the children of their mother's curse. So they are the one being haunted by A. I still don't know what Pretty Little Liars is about, but if you are a fan, please explain it in the comments. I need to know more about this because it's intriguing, and I have a book which I bought from book sale. It's hardcover though, which I bought for only 45 pesos, such a steal. And I know this isn't the first book because the setting is a year after the haunting, after the mysterious notes stopped. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 9th book in my TBR list for this month. So Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I know this is very well hyped. I fell in love with this. This is the first book series that I read, and the reason why I became a bookworm, a book reader. I read this when I was in junior high. I read quite a lot of books a few years after. Let's see if this is still gonna be my favorite book series now that I'm in my 20s. So Red Queen is their society is divided into two categories, like between the silver blood people, mostly the high hierarchy, the royals, the people with big titles in society. I did forgot to mention that the silver-blooded people have supernatural abilities and powers, and the reds, usually the maids. This world is divided into two, like silvers are higher class and red bloods are lower class. Then Mare discovered, she's a red blood, she discovered that she has power which is a threat to the silver blood because that changes the dynamic of their society. I don't usually remember the whole world building of Red Queen, but I remembered how from the start I got hooked, and that was 15-year-old me talking. And let's see if it's still good for my taste, since I'm just a fantasy reader, if this still passes my taste. I even have the whole series and I've been waiting on reading it because I just acquired the first book. This is the hardcover and signed edition. This first edition